Alrighty guys, welcome back to a brand new Big Cherry Retro React here on The Ankle. Hey Amber!
Hello. Hi. Welcome to my shit show.
So, for today's episode, it's a very exciting, just double feature, but it's a very exciting one. We're going to take an emotional look into Amberlynn's past. Part 1 and 2, so don't worry. 29,000 views, about 405 thumbs up on this one. Honestly, guys, I hate reading the comments on these videos because, granted, we know a lot more now than we did even just a few years ago. So, like, I don't necessarily blame people for thinking, like, oh, this Amberlynn is so genuine, so sweet. She's not. This was immediately following the Casey incident. She is still the monster that we know her as today. Like, nothing has changed. This sweet, innocent demeanor, that's picked up from Crystal, not from Amberlynn's own accord. So, with that being said, I don't want to start off with a rant, but I just feel like it had to be, like, thrown out there, you know what I mean? But yeah, I hope you guys are having a great start to your day. And yeah, let's just dive right in and see if, we can pick out any lies that our girl is telling.
Hi everyone.
Hey, Amber. Let's make sure you're turned up, you fucking quiet bitch.
I kind of wanted to talk about something different today. I made this vlog, channel, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, it's definitely not a blog channel, smarty pants.
For a few reasons. I enjoy watching so many different kinds of videos, whether it's funny or whether it's beauty gurus or
And you don't pick any of that up, girl? God damn, this side swoop, dude. That's rough. It really is.
weight loss vlogs or just regular people vlogs. And
Her hair is nowhere near that thick nowadays.
I like what each and every single one of them has to offer. So, as you can tell, I've put a lot of vlogs up. I put random tags up. Well, today I figured...
Done a lot of random shit, dude. A lot. Past couple of videos have been a little bit uneventful.
maybe you can get to know me and why I am the way I am now.
This is her setting up her long list of excuses.
So this video is going to be about my childhood and what led me up to where I am now. And I hope you stick around to watch it. So, I was born December...
That was a much better transition, though. I will say that. Like, damn, she actually put a cut in.
7th, 1990 in Key West, Florida.
Of course you're a Florida girl. Of course. Key West, too. That makes sense.
I don't remember anything about there at all. I moved to California with my parents when I was just a baby.
That's such an interesting, like, shift for me, I guess. I don't know. That's weird.
And I grew up in California. But let's rewind a little bit. I remember as a younger girl, I did have a very, very hard childhood. My parents were drug addicts. They abused each other, neglected each other, but...
So that's where you learned it, huh? That's where you learned it, and that's why you do it to Crystal? She must have just, like, fucking wailed on the poor girl, and that's why she's giving this long video excuse.
It's not just about the negative things in my life. I can remember the positives. We'd go camping. And I loved the outdoors as a little girl. I was actually called the golden child because I was so tan. I was always on my bike. I was always swimming and...
Yeah, girl, I bet. I bet you were the golden child.
I was always chubby then too, but I didn't care. I went out and did things that little kids did. But as I got older, I started realizing more so that my parents weren't like normal parents. Their location of using drugs was in the bathroom. So every time I'd go in there, I knew that when they came out, they'd be a different person. It wasn't a good way to live, but
I mean, that's definitely like unfortunate, you know. Even with like Amberlynn being as shitty of a person as she is, I don't like blame her for the shitty childhood that she had, you know? I really don't. But I feel like someone who hasn't grown from that at all, coming back into the life of someone who has worked on that a lot, aka being her mom, dude, I feel like Amber is just like going to be so vengeful towards her mother.
I feel like it did make me stronger in a way. I went
Dude, it doesn't fucking seem it.
a lot. When I was 8 years old, my mom said that she was pregnant with her third child. I already had a brother, and he's younger, so I'm the older child, and I was really happy. I was thrilled.
Doesn't that make a bit of sense? The oldest child, like, probably the most, like, neglected out of all of them. Like, that's interesting to me. She said before that, like, she had to take care of her younger siblings, and, like, yeah, I understand that. But, like, that makes so much sense that, like, she feels the most neglected out of everyone.
Actually, I knew she was doing drugs with him. Any 8-year-old wouldn't have a clue, but I had to grow up. I had to, in a way, be my own parent. So, when my brother was born,
Makes so much sense why she's so fucking, like, developmentally delayed now.
he was so adorable, and gosh, I loved him. As days went on, I did kind of take the role of being a parent in a way. I still remember one time in particular when my parents were on so many drugs that they were like passed out. My baby brother was crying.
Oh my gosh, is this the fucking, I don't know, the cord story?
And I wasn't sure why, so I went into the room.
I guarantee you she told this story at like school or something and then CPS got called.
Of where they were, and it was because his crib was by a curtain, and the curtain string was wrapped around his neck. I will never forget that day as long as I live. Even now it's emotional for me. His face was purple, he was screaming, crying, and to put it shortly, I had to save his life, and I did. And then,
Dude, who even knows if like we can even like believe this story? Like honestly, like we know by now that Amberlynn can turn on the waterworks whenever she fucking wants to. Like, and if she really thinks about it enough, she could be like, no, wait, this really did happen to me. Like, she's so delusional and, like, out there fucking cuckoo. Like, dude.
I realized that I don't think my parents will ever change. I was a 9-year-old.
I mean, that's pretty fucking pessimistic to say. Maybe you thought that way because you, deep down inside, know you will never change.
And I was taking on the role of being a mother. So one day when I was at school, I think 3rd or 4th grade, I got a call to the office. There were police there, and I wasn't sure what was really happening. And
Yeah, I guarantee you she told a story or something happened or that friend that came over and she ate fucking meth in front of probably told her parents. Like something had to have happened.
come to find out, I was being put into foster care. I was being put into foster care with my one brother, but my little brother was being put into a separate home.
Yeah, because he's a cute little baby. Of course, someone's going to adopt that right up. No one's going to take a look at you and your fugly brother and be like, yeah, let's take those chubby ones. Sorry, that's really mean. But, like, Amberlynn gave her little brother a fucking hernia. So, like, dude.
After being in foster care for over a year, I was actually in a children's shelter for longer than that. I found out that my brother was actually going to be an adopted child. He was going to be put in closed adoption, which meant I would never be allowed to see him again. It broke my heart, and it still does. And it happened.
Dude, it's so for the best. It is so for the fucking best that that kid doesn't have any relation to that blood family. What a fucking train wreck.
12 years ago. In a way, I felt like my own child was being adopted.
Oh, girl, please.
So it was just a hard time for me. After trying to accept it, I was thrown around into different foster homes and with my
Girl, I bet. I bet not a lot of them stuck. You were probably such an unruly fucking child.
brother, and soon we got separated. We were separated for a few years. It was very hard. A lot of the time I felt alone and just confused with life. When I turned 12, my parents finally decided to get their act together, and we went to court and we had a 6-month trial to live with them. And that trial turned into 2 years. But it was a failed trial. The whole time my family was just getting worse and worse. I started smoking marijuana.
It doesn't surprise me that she, like, very quickly started to go down, like, a bad pipeline, you know? And that makes sense now why she's still such, like, a heavy Delta 10, Delta 8, whatever the fuck user, like, you know what I mean?
I turned to the wrong type of people to hang out with. My brother started acting out. He started hitting me.
Oh, is that also where you learned it from?
My parents got worse. Their drug addiction went to a whole new level.
Once again, I'm sure you were a real fucking daisy to be around.
We actually lived in a trailer. That's mainly what I lived. Whenever I lived with my parents, that's mainly where we lived. It was the smallest trailer ever. And I never saw my dad, even though we were under the same roof. He had people coming in and out of the home all hours of the day, all hours of the night to buy his drugs. My parents actually got separated at this time, which was hard to handle. I guess it was best for them, but it was still hard. One day I was actually texting a friend and I told her that I wanted to die. And
Girl, sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but like that's just so fucking dramatic.
I don't want to be alive anymore. Her mom found the text message and her mom brought the text to my school, and I ended up being put in a mental hospital.
I I don't know as though like it was that easy to just like toss someone in at that point. That's a bit much, but who knows, maybe. I don't know. I think she's missing a few key details in this story.
I didn't think I needed it. I wasn't really gonna kill myself. I was just really depressed, and it was just life was not going how I wanted it to. When I got that 6-month trial to be with my family again, I honestly thought that they were gonna change forever, but they didn't. Things got so much worse, and I didn't know how to handle it. And saying I was going to die felt like the easiest answer. I was in the mental hospital for about 6 days, and obviously they diagnosed me with depression, which I already knew. I was diagnosed with depression since the age of 10.
But like who knows if this is even real, dude? Like who knows if this is even real? Because like I mean maybe this is just like Casey's story or some shit, dude. Or maybe it's fucking Crystal's. Who knows? Like I just can't believe it. Cause even Casey said like she never talked about her anxiety or depression when they were together.
And I was taking antidepressants for I don't even know how long. But after I left the mental hospital, I took a whole new meaning of life because I saw people in there that were mental. I'm not trying to be mean in any.
No, that is true though. You go in there and like you very quickly see that like there is a difference between what you're going through and what other people are going through in a place like that. Like it very it very quickly sets your fucking reality of like, oh,
But
stop. Stop all the licking.
I don't think I was meant to be there, but it did change my life. And that I do appreciate. Every day since then, I never wished a day on my life that I wasn't alive.
I don't know, girlie. It seems like nowadays you be pushing it.
More in my younger years, my mom did have another child, and I held him once, and she put him up for close adoption the day he was born.
So she has 3 brothers?
I know my 2 brothers are out there, and more than anything, I just hope that one day they can look at me and I can look at them and we know that we're family. I miss them every day.
Well, I mean, I hope not. I hope they had healthy upbringings and they're like, you know, healthy weights and whatnot. Then you wouldn't be able to tell you're related. Because honestly, Amber, there's not a defining feature to your face.
Even if I knew one brother longer than the other one, I love them both equally. And more than anything, being able to see them again would mean the world to me.
It's so good that they have not met you.
So, as everything got worse and worse within my life, my parents started taking more drugs. Even though my parents were separated, my mom was living down the street with her boyfriend in a different trailer, which was literally 10 feet away. So,
So it goes from down the street to 10 feet away very quickly.
I was in class yet again, and I get called to the office.
This just, I don't know, girl. I don't know. You never once, like, had police or CPS show up to the house directly? Like, it always just was, like, through the school somehow.
About school, I never went.
But she never went. She never went to school, but the few times she did, she gets called into the office and all this shit goes down. Okay.
I didn't care about school. Things that were happening
Heard your foster parents had to fucking fight you to get you to actually finish.
at home were ruining my education because that's all I thought about. I'd either miss school or I'd just not care. Like, I'd go and I wouldn't do any of the work. School was hard. I got made fun of every single day. The few friends I did have actually weren't my friends. They weren't. I mean, the way they treated me.
Girl, probably the way you fucking treated them. Are you kidding me? I bet you were a fucking nightmare in high school.
And how a friend should treat another friend. But
they probably gave you back exactly what you were giving them, girl.
Every day I was bullied. I was the smelly kid. I was the fat girl. That's how people knew me. I was Fat Amber.
That's how they still know you, baby doll. Smelly and big.
I didn't know how to handle it, but I just got bigger and bigger. But as I was in class on one day, I got called to the office. The cops came, and yet again, me and my brother were being put into foster care. It was hard. It was.
What, are you trying to make up your story as we go? Like, what is this?
The biggest word you can use for such an experience is it's hard. It's a
Wow. For someone that went through all this and they can only say it was hard, imagine.
overwhelming and depressing. You don't know what to do when you're put into strangers' homes. You don't know what to do when you're put into a children's shelter. You kind of just have to go with the flow. It's like you're caged in. It's just hard. But this time was a little different. I was in the shelter for months, and I had this daily visit with my mom where I was allowed to spend the whole day with her, with my brother as well, once a week. And so we did that, and I was just texting my friend, simply joking, saying I should live with you because she was my best friend at the time.
Dog, they dodged a fucking bullet there.
And little did I know, 2 months later, I was living with her.
Ew, never mind.
It was absolutely insane. I don't know
Poor girl.
how it happened. It happened so quickly, and honestly, at the time,
And let me guess, it probably also ruined their friendship.
I thought this was beginning to a whole new life that I was gonna love every minute of. But I was definitely wrong.
Oh, and that's where it ends. Okay, well, all the comments are just kissing her ass again. So let's go into an emotional look into my past, part 2.
So after being put into several different foster homes with strangers and
So we're just going to gloss over that.
one foster home with my aunt.
Oh, the aunt that kicked her out. This one got 12,000 views, 276 thumbs up. Yeah, it's a bunch of more fucking kiss-ass comments.
Which clearly didn't work out. Nothing worked. I was even in a group home for 2 years when I was 10 and 11.
Yeah, I bet it was all her personality, too, that made it not work, dude. She's let out some info throughout the years that, like, she just sounded like a fucking nightmare.
I was separated from my brother, and just nothing was working out. So when I had the opportunity to live with my best friend, I was so happy.
They were probably like, let's stick her with someone that at least we know she gets along with, it seems. Like, fucking A. I bet her social workers were fucking tired, dude. They were Mariah Carey and Precious, just tired.
But her and I became distant.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Still depressed. As much as I wanted to be happy, I was still inside depressed. I went through so much in my life. Things that I witnessed with my own eyes at such a young age was something that people who were 60 years old never even experienced. And
Girl, what the fuck does that have to do with any of it?
it makes me stronger. But
Does it? Because it seems like you don't use that strength at all.
I'm inside. I was weak. All I did was sleep. I just stayed on my bed and watched TV, and I ate and I ate and I
Girl, that's still what you fucking do. Still, through the years, that is just what you do.
ate. Food was my best friend.
Still is.
And I think she noticed and she didn't like being around me.
Yeah. Okay, so let's blame it on she didn't like being around you when you were like that. Sure. Just because Amberlynn was a little sad and liked to eat a bit, that's why. Yeah, okay, Amber.
Neither did my own brother. I was alone. It was hard to be alone.
Dude, it literally seems like she's bullshitting this as she goes.
Again, when
Like, she knows the true story, and in her head, she's having to spin it so that she's the victim.
alone your whole life. I really was. I was alone and feeling
Seemed like you had your brother quite often. Like, what about that?
alone when so many people around you is one of the worst feelings in the world. And more than anything, I just wanted somebody, and that somebody turned out to be food again.
Yeah, because food never talked back. It never attacked you back. Never gave you the attitude back. You just don't know how to interact, like, with actual other people, so you just resort to food.
After being, I have to admit, after being pretty much tortured by her and my brother,
Tortured by her and her brother. Sure, Amber. I'm sure it was the other fucking way around.
I climbed my way up to being 420 pounds. And I will never forget that day when I weighed in and I was 420 pounds. And
How about the day when you weighed in and you were 700 or 700? Probably one day. And when you were 574 pounds. How about that, Amber?
for some reason, I feel like I even weighed more at one point.
Girl, you probably did. You're probably lying about that weight.
It was shocking, and people made fun of me still. I mean, we were almost 18 years old and I was being made fun of still. I mean, when do you grow up, honestly?
Girl, you're 33 and people are still making fun of you for being fat. Shut up.
It was just hard. When I turned 18, I moved to Oklahoma to be with some of my family. And yet again, I thought that was going to be a new beginning for me, and it didn't work, and I wanted it to so bad. Things were happening, and I actually had my first anxiety attack there, which was horrible. And
Well, apparently, Casey said she didn't have anxiety or any of that before, so I don't know what all this is about.
pretty soon, I was diagnosed with panic disorder, and it's just so much was happening, and my mom was still doing
Still don't know if this is true or not.
drugs, because she was also living in Oklahoma at the time, and I just felt hopeless. I knew my parents were never gonna change, and I wanted them to so bad, but they just weren't. And while I was in Oklahoma, I was in a long distance relationship, and I was gonna go visit my girl.
Oh, I think this is talking about Casey. I think it is.
And not my current girlfriend. I'm just mentioning that. I was gonna go visit my.
But you were dating Casey when you were talking to Crystal.
And she lived in Arizona, so I went to go visit her. But while I was in Arizona, I was kicked out of Oklahoma.
Yep. So this is Casey's story. So she's still misgendering Casey after the fact. She knows that he identifies by he, him now. So, girl, you're so fucking sloppy.
I got a text from my mom saying that my grandma did not want me living in her home. So I was stuck. I didn't know what to do. So I stayed in Arizona.
Yeah, you were kicked the fuck out.
My girlfriend's mom did not want that at all. She hated me. So did her boyfriend. Several times he threatened to kill me.
Well, not saying that that is okay if he did do that. That isn't acceptable to say to any child, no matter how fucking annoying they are. But Amberlynn, I guarantee you she's one of the most disrespectful little brats you ever fucking saw, dude. And he probably clocked her for, like, the detrimental little troll that she was.
I was abused there a lot.
You were? Okay, girly.
In several different ways.
We know now that that is not the truth, that you were the abuser, but go off.
I slowly started falling out of love with my current girlfriend and realizing that the person I should be with was right before my eyes and I didn't even realize it. The current girlfriend I have now.
Yeah, so she just admitted she was with Casey and talking to Crystal.
Her name is Crystal and she's changed my life. I'm sorry.
So you're going to tell me after all these years that, like, Casey just so happened to, like, come back and find this video and know that this is the storyline she went with? No, he just told the story right off of the top of his head how he remembered it, and it matches up to this. So I don't know, Amber. I think you might be, bullshitting us a bit here.
One day in Arizona, I meet her online and we just talk and talk. She's funny, she's silly, and she really lights up my world.
And you knock out her lights. Sorry, I shouldn't joke so much about it because, like, it really is disgusting. But I really, like, it makes me so uncomfortable I don't know what else to do.
While living in Arizona, I mean, Crystal would text all the time, and I mean, she didn't start lighting up my world right off the bat. We were just friends. She was just funny.
Yeah, you were just randomly talking to this girl. Okay.
And my attention became more towards her and not so much towards my current girlfriend because how I was treated.
So she's openly explaining how she cheated, girl.
By her and by her family, it rubbed me wrong and it wasn't right.
Girl, how you were treating them, Jesus Christ. You literally, like, threw shit at his mom's head. Like, shut up.
So, I still remember the first time I ever told Crystal that I was in love with her. It was over the phone, and I was actually sitting outside of Dunkin' Donuts in, like, the middle of the night. I know, random. And then
I want to know what she was doing there.
a few
Probably kicked out.
later, her and her mom came and visited me, and it was incredible. The girlfriend I had then didn't approve of this, but I had to be honest with her that I was in love with somebody else. And as much as I wanted to try and work out the relationship I was in, I just knew it wasn't going to happen. Things were
Yeah, you had already abused him too much, so time was up.
falling apart, and things were falling together so perfectly with Crystal that I couldn't ignore it.
Well, this is probably also already after the fact that Crystal bought you shit. Like, you were getting more out of a relationship with Crystal than you were with Casey because you didn't appreciate how poor Casey's family was, which, like, fuck off, dude.
Me and the current girlfriend got in a huge argument and
Yeah, you probably hit him.
just couldn't deal. I finally just said, I'm done.
Dog, you were kicked the fuck out. Kicked to the fucking curb. People that wanted to make sure you weren't homeless said, I don't give a fuck, get out.
I gave Crystal a call. Next morning, I was actually getting on a plane to be with her. Her parents paid, and I appreciate every.
Of course, because you probably called her crying like, Crystal, I'm homeless. I'm going to be sleeping on the street. You need to get me out of here.
Her parents have done for me. They're like parents I never had in a way.
Yeah, they continue to fucking pay for your shit.
We have ups and downs, but doesn't anybody? Doesn't anybody? I mean,
Dog. Honestly, I would try my if I was in Amberlynn's shoes, I would try my fucking hardest to not have ups and downs. Like, are you kidding me? I would not be argumentative with people at all if I was owing them that much gratitude. Are you kidding me, dude? You would be on the fucking street, probably in the same shoes as your parents. Like, are you kidding me? And you're going to say, oh, everyone has ups and downs. Not when you need to be fucking grateful with your whole entire ass life to these people.
that's part of life, to be able to have ups and downs, but still know the true meaning of life, and that
Girl, shut the fuck up. Oh my god, this is such like an abuser's fucking explanation for bullshit.
people are so kind if you really give them a chance, and I just appreciate them so much.
Yeah, they give you chance after fucking chance, it seems.
And for the first time, I can really say that they have changed my life.
But fuck all those foster families, huh?
Since I've been here, I've finally been urged to get healthy.
Yeah, because that definitely didn't happen before. Sure, Amber. See, it always is, whoever the current one is, they help me so much. I've never had this type of support. And then as soon as it's over, it's, on to the next person I've never had this type of support before. No one's ever encouraged me like this. Like, shut up.
losing weight, and I've been doing it because of them.
Really? Because you're gaining.
If it wasn't for them, I'd weigh way more than 420 pounds, and I can tell you that right now.
That's fucked. You need to grow your own fucking backbone. You're 23 years old. Grow the fuck up.
They have helped me in ways that I can't even express, and I appreciate them so much.
It doesn't sound it.
And I love you, Crystal. I know you're watching this, and I just want you to know that I love you so much. And
Yeah, she knows she's watching it because you're probably basically holding her at fucking gunpoint to watch all these videos.
you really do mean the world to me.
Gross.
So this is where I'm at now. I'm living with Crystal and her parents, and I'm really happy.
Girl, that look did not seem it.
In this video, I kind of just skimmed over like the gruesome parts. I didn't want to get into detail.
Because you don't have details, because it's all a lie. Okay.
My life too much. But if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments section, because
Yeah, she's definitely not going to answer any of them, so don't bother.
I will answer them. Even if you watch this far, I appreciate it so much. I kind of just wanted to give you guys a little idea of where I come from, because no matter what, where I come from
She's just explaining the train wreck to come.
is a huge story, and it will never be able to be expressed in a little short video. But I do appreciate you guys for watching, and again, if you have any questions, just leave them down and I will answer them. I hope everyone's having a great day. I feel better for kind of getting this off my chest, because it is good to know who is behind the video, and now you guys kind of do have an idea of who is behind.
She just wanted some more sympathy ass pats, dude. I don't give a fuck. I don't believe like a single fucking ounce of this
Video. And through it all, I'm still me.
Still an abuser, yeah.
Even though my parents are never gonna change, I'm 22.
How fucking pessimistic, dude.
Still the way they were from day one. I know that I can be a better person.
How ironic that her parents were the ones actually capable of change and it's Amberlynn that never was. Isn't that interesting? It's almost like a karmic fucking reevaluation.
Whether my brother falls in their footsteps or not, I still love him too. And knowing that I can be stronger than to be like them makes me feel like I'm gonna be alright. I really am.
Girl, what a fucking. She literally just took out her ego's cock, slapped it on the table, and started fucking stroking it right in front of everyone. Sorry if that was a little graphic, but like, that's exactly what the fuck she did. Look at that glow, that twinkle in her fucking eye. She's like, yeah, I'm that bitch. And that's where she's going to end it. Good fucking lord, guys. Well, this certainly was an interesting one, wasn't it? Oh my god. Definitely let me know your thoughts in the comments, because I don't know, guys. I really don't know if we can even trust any of what she's saying. I really don't. Just all the years of constant lying and finding out now that she was even a manipulative, lying little twat back then. Like, dude, how fucked? How fucked? That's just so wild. Definitely let me know your thoughts, guys. Like and subscribe. Oh, wait. Scratch all that. So in the next videos, we're going to take, it's a bunch of shorter ones. So, it'll just kind of be like a collection video. But we're just making our way through, guys. Just making our way through. Nothing wrong with that. But yeah, like and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Take care.